Ghana Medical Association calls for free, fair and transparent elections as the country prepares for the polls on December 7.
Also coming up tonight, the National Media Commission urges responsible reporting ahead of December elections.
Stakeholders push for improved sickle cell screening as over 18,000 newborns are diagnosed annually.
And on the international front, Russian President Vladimir Putin offers what he calls total support for African countries, including struggling against terrorism and extremism. This is News 360 live from our studio at Advocacy in Accra. Stay with us. We have details of these and more in a jiffy.
Well, your election command center, and we're starting off with some election-related stories. The Ghana Medical Association has added its voice to calls for free, fair and transparent elections as the country prepares for the December 7 polls. At a press briefing marking the end of its 66th annual general meeting in Ho, the GMA urged the Electoral Commission to uphold the highest standards of impartiality, transparency and accountability. Dr. Frank Sribo is president of the Ghana Medical Association.
On election 24, ensuring free, fair and transparent elections is essential in maintaining the confidence of Ghanaians and upholding our nation's integrity. We urge the Electoral Commission to uphold the highest standards of impartiality, transparency and accountability. We urge all political parties and groups to ensure that their members and supporters peacefully conduct themselves before, during, and after the elections. The GMA also urges all citizens of Ghana to remember that voting is both a right and a responsibility. Together, let us honor our democracy by voting peacefully, respecting the rights of others, and avoiding any form of violence. Thank you very much.
Right, so that is the Ghana Medical Association urging for credible, transparent and free elections. And on the back of that, we know, for instance, that the Electoral Commission is the one being referenced when it comes to having to compose or hold a free election, free, fair, credible election. One entity that has been putting pressure on the EC to be fair and credible is the National Democratic Congress. You'd recall that last week, the Electoral Commission provided all registered political parties and independent presidential candidates with soft copies of the votes of certified voters who have been captured by the EC. This is in accordance with sub-regulation 4 of the regulation 27 of Constitutional Instrument CI 91. Now, the Commission was asked to provide a breakdown of the data that was on a pen drive that had been given to the various political parties. About 7 hours after this deliberation that you can see on your screen, it happened a few days ago. After this interaction between the EC and the political parties, there seemed to have been some deadlock where the specific data that was asked from the EC was not given to the political parties. Let's get some specific details of this from Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer, who is the Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the National Democratic Congress. So a brief background like I have given, the EC gave pen drives that had the total registered voters in the country to the various political parties and independent candidates. On the back of that, the parties asked that, well, give us a print version so we all are on the same page to know that X number of people have registered, X are female, X are male, etc. That kind of breakdown was what was being sought from the EC. But the EC could not give that. Dr. Rashid, Tanko, computer, thank you for joining us. As the representative of the NDC who was at that meeting, how was this particular issue resolved? Do you finally have the soft copy, I beg your pardon, the hard copy that you were seeking from the EC?
Very well. Let me say good evening to your cherished viewers. Ideally, we were not asking for any hard copy. We're asking for a data, and the data had to do with the summaries of the register as well as the statistics therein in the register. That was what we are asking, because we believe that you can't just give us a register without running us through the summaries as they did during the last IPAC meeting we held at Lisa Hotel, when they were to give us the revised provisional voters register. At that meeting, they took time to run us through the summaries of the provisional register, the revised one, before we're given hand over the pen drives. Now, you could see that clearly they made us to understand the total registered voters as at that time, provisional, of course, and then the total female voters as well as male voters, and that of fresh voters. Then proxy voters, transfer voters, absentee lists, special voters, and multiple voter lists, as well as exception lists. All these summaries were given. And then, so it gave us an overview of the whole register, how it looks like. And that helped us through the exhibition processes and all that. Now that you are coming to give us a certified register, which of course you have now worked on it, and that is going to be the final register, we're expecting that they would have given us summaries as well. Now, this is now the final. For instance, this is the final total registered voters in Ghana that are going to vote come December 7th. And that one goes with the total number of polling stations that are accredited to vote, where voters will go and cast their ballot, as well as the regional summaries and all that. This was what we're expecting from them. Unfortunately, like you rightly put it, for well over 7 hours, they initially said they could give it to us in less than 1 hour. And when they went in for well over more than 7 hours, they couldn't. And then so that led to us as the party, NDC, rejecting that pen drive and returned saying to them that until we get the summaries, we're not going to take that as a certified register, because we cannot have a register like that because we don't want to come and generate our own thing. Like they are talking. I've heard a lot of your media houses saying that, well, the NDC could also go and look at it. Well, that is not our job. If you want us to generate, and I go and generate a summary from the data given me, and I come out and pad it, for instance, and decide to say that what you have given, I've seen some over 19 million registered voters in that thing. What would be the reaction of the Electoral Commission?
Sorry for butting in, but just for clarity purposes, was it just the NDC that asked the EC to give a summary of the content they had given to all of you on a pen drive? Was it just the NDC that sought that from the EC?
Well, we asked the question. We asked them for those summaries, and we got the buy-in of our colleagues. Initially, they were all quiet. In fact, once she finished and said they should come for it, all of them were quiet. But we thought, no, that was wrong. We thought that was not the best practice. That was not it. And so when we raised the issues, we got the buy-in of our colleagues. They started seeing the wisdom in what we're asking for.
Right.
And then, but what interested was that when we decided to return the pen drive to them, I mean, some of them chickened out and decided to take another path. So, but that is their cup of tea. As a political party, we will make sure that the right things are done. And that's why we are following them.
So what next? What next for the NDC? Clearly, you need that document either on a pen drive or on paper to be able to also know how many Ghanaians have registered, how many are going to be voting. What's the next line of action now that you rejected it and gave it back to the EC?
Well, the Electoral Commission indicated that they would present the information to us on Monday. In fact, that is tomorrow. So we're expecting that tomorrow they will make available to political parties the information that we are looking for. And then so we are putting our finger crossed, waiting for tomorrow to hear from them the kind of data they will be bringing publicly. And it's important that the media follow us through on this, because you are reporting. If today somebody called you and asked you what is the total number of registered voters in Ghana who are going to cast their ballot, I don't think you can answer it. And you are reporting that they have given a certified register. A register that you, the reporters, cannot even tell the content of it. That is what we are trying to prevent. We want to be on the same wavelength on this thing. So hopefully tomorrow, as they indicated, that they will present it to us tomorrow. So we are waiting to see what happens.
To see how it goes. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Certainly tomorrow is just a few hours away. We'll keep close tabs on this and keep you posted as well as a voter watching us right now on your election command center.
Now, as the December general election inches closer, the National Media Commission is urging journalists to uphold peace in the country by reporting only the facts in a responsible manner. Addressing a section of the media in Kumasi, chairman of the commission, Nhyiaeso, entreated media personnel not to compromise facts for speed, as the actions and inactions of the media can either promote peace or spark violence.
Now, despite the tense political atmosphere, the media's role in the sustenance of peace before, during, and after the December election is deemed paramount.
The politicians can misbehave foolishly and irresponsibly. The Electoral Commission could itself be mislead itself and act foolishly. But if we in the media are led to our responsibilities, there will be no war. Because we will state the facts and explain things to people that we can rationally appeal the conscience of people and they will stay stable. The Electoral Commission may do everything right. The politicians may do everything right. We can destroy all of that when we misbehave.
At a media forum for election 2024, organized by the Ghana Journalists Association and National Media Commission, members of the Inky fraternity were instructed to stick to putting out only factual information.
And the thing that we can do is that we do not just rush and be the first to tell. I mean, what is the pride in you being the first to tell when every time that you tell the wrong story? People are not interested in who told the story first. People are interested in who told the story in a manner that it makes sense and it appeals to the conscience of people rather than the sentiments and the emotions of the people.
Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Kumasi.
Still in politics, the New Patriotic Party's presidential candidate, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has promised the people of Oforikrom that he will strengthen the free senior high school program if voted into office. He made his statement while addressing party supporters at Oforikrom as part of his campaign tour of the Ashanti region.
The Ashanti region is regarded as the World Bank of the New Patriotic Party when it comes to elections. At an event in the Oforikrom constituency as part of his regional tour, NPP presidential candidate Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia stated that with the massive developmental project of the NPP, the party is poised to win the upcoming elections.
A campaign over 15 regions, 240 constituencies.
I'm done campaigning in 15 regions and 240 constituencies. With the sentiment I'm picking from Oforikrom, it's evident that the NPP will win both the parliamentary and presidential elections come 2024.
On December 7th, Nhyiaeso Mubeti by 12 midnight that the NPP has won the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections.
The Ashanti regional chairman of the NPP, Bernard Nhyiaeso, urged party supporters to come out in their numbers on December 7 to vote for the NPP. He was optimistic the party will secure a one-touch victory.
Bawumia will be the next president. I decree and declare, Bawumia will be by fire, by thunder, by fire, by thunder. Bawumia, we are winning election 2024 one touch.
Addressing a congregation at St. Peter's Church in the Kwabre South constituency, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia called on Ghanaians to help protect the peace of the country. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia also lauded the interfaith coexistence between Christians and Muslims.
County 5 Ghana kaho. Enti yeda Nhyiaeso.
In the whole of Africa, Ghana is among the 5 most peaceful countries, and we thank God. The reason is that Christians and Muslims live in unity and peace and do not fight. Today, you see imams in churches. You won't see this anywhere else in the whole of Africa.
Se kramofo imams omoti asore daimo ohuli the baby ada ohulu wa Africa baby
Also, the NPP's presidential candidate, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, says from December 1, treatment for dialysis will be free for everybody in the country under the National Health Insurance Scheme. He was addressing stakeholders at Swami as part of his tour of the Ashanti region.
National Health Insurance no na egu yebaye yedi yepeja National Health Insurance no yedi sika akoshem na uhwe so a eyaria na National Health Insurance enhwe no.
The National Health Insurance Scheme was near collapse, but we invested heavily into the scheme. We added several other diseases to the scheme, including childhood cancer, sickle cell patients, and now kidney dialysis.
Sickle cell, you show free under National Health Insurance. The success of me and not me and son, as of who say kidney dialysis. So, yaba no, and then ampa go for bebre kidney problems. And see into here dialysis. A dialysis no so sikano dorsum. Nipa bebre into me and 2 years sikano. Enti 6 months ago, ye started pilot. Say ye the dialysis no beba National Health Insurance. So nipa na umuye over 60, any under 18 for the last 6 months. Umuji dialysis under National Health Insurance free.
There are so many people suffering from kidney problems, so 6 months ago, we started the piloting of the free dialysis. We are ending the piloting, and so from December 1, all kidney dialysis patients will be treated freely under the NHIS.
Patients, Umubeji under National Health Insurance free for kidney dialysis from December 1st.
That's quite a big promise from the NPP flag bearer. We'll see how it comes out, especially as the communities that are following this particular story, kidney people, are going to be reacting to it. Let's stay on politics this time around to the camp of the NDC. The presidential candidate of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, says the party will not consider the option of election adjudication in the courts. Speaking in Trifu Atimokwa, John Mahama stated that the NDC will win this election with a resounding victory. He also made a clarion call for disappointed MPP supporters to join the winning team.
Communal labor.
Everything we are doing now is about commitment to the cause of the NDC. We are determined to snatch victory from the NPP, so we call on all disgruntled members of the NPP to join the NDC for victory.
Mo party co-oppositioner, no more call Jeffrey Sankro for our Omaji party no Aswano, no Jeffrey Omonsem, no more say mo party Nibium. And Yoma ye no, a better pa sana.
We have better and superior policies in place, and we shall implement them accordingly. On the elections day, all of you should go out and vote. We don't want confusion after the votes are counted. Let's avoid the court after the elections because the NPP has allegedly packed the court with their own people.
NDC for na abatway one touch you be win our polling station
Let's now take you to the Ashanti region, and this particular seat has been a traditional seat for the New Patriotic Party since its creation in 2004. The closest the National Democratic Congress candidate has come is securing 20% of votes cast. But the NDC parliamentary candidate for 2020, Faustina Derry, is hoping to see a change of narrative in the December 7 elections. She has intensified her door-to-door and street campaigns in her quest to win the Nhyiaeso seat for the NDC for the very first time. Our correspondent Ibrahim Abubakar has been gauging the political party activities in the constituency and joins us via Zoom for more on this. Now, Ibrahim, we know that this is an NPP stronghold. Stephen Asamoah, who is the current MP from the NPP, won in 2020 with over 51,000 votes against the NDC's 11,033. Tell us about the dynamics in the Nhyiaeso seat.
Aisha, yes, indeed, Nhyiaeso constituency has been a safe one for the NPP. In fact, this is a constituency together with Kwadaso and the current Bantima that formed the then Bantima. But in 2004, it was carved out of Bantima, and for that matter, like you said, NPP has won this seat with ease over the years. If you look at the voting pattern, NDC has won with at least 75% of the votes cast since 2004. So you can imagine the gap. So it has not been easy for the NDC. However, this time around, even the MPP has not taken things lightly. In fact, it has also stepped up its campaign activities, unlike previous election, where you realize that the party has relaxed when it comes to its campaign activities. In fact, for the parliamentary candidate of the MPP, who is also the incumbent member of parliament, Dr. Stephen Amwa, he said they will not be complacent, they are not taking anything to chance. Their hope is that they even widen the vote margin so that they will have a resounding victory. However, when you come to the camp of NDC, they know that it will be very, very difficult for them to win this seat. But they are hopeful. They think that for the first time, if the people will have a change of mind and shift their voting pattern, then they will have the needed development that they need to have. Secondly, in an event the NDC does not even win, their target is to at least increase their vote so that their presidential candidate, John Dramani Mahama, will be able to cement his victory on December 7. And this will also help in bringing development to the area. So they have stepped up their campaign activity. They are doing door-to-door. They are doing street campaigns. They are moving to market day and night. They are hoping that they will get the needed result, even though they appreciate it will not be an easy journey for them. Faustina Derry is the parliamentary candidate for the NDC in Nhyiaeso.
Ashanti region. This is the time. Science. It's answer MPP sebi omunim so omugina colors biso eno nti omuyi omutia na yasesa abani nyina ma wo mu omunya akodu suru ho a na omure fitima amufuo no. This time around mon facility na mfemye na ye nkosuru ho na mon hwe the difference.
This is the time for the people of Ashanti region to change their voting pattern. NPP has taken the region for granted in spite of the continuous loyalty it has enjoyed from this region. Within the Kumasi Metro, the NDC has just one seat, that is Asawasi. And when you compare the level of development to other constituencies, you would realize NDC is development oriented. So adding more seats to the NDC means more development. The next NDC government will target youth and women development, so they should vote massively for John Mahama.
Ibrahim Abubakar there, our Ashanti regional correspondent, bringing us happenings in the Nhyiaeso constituency, where he has been keeping an eye for us. He will be in the Ashanti region, bringing us more right here on Your Elections Command Center, so do stay with us.
Absolutely, and as Your Election Command Center, if it is politics, we've got you covered on that. And staying on that though, we know that a group known as Zongo Women for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, a pro-NPP group in Bawku Central, is calling for peaceful elections in December. The women, joined by constituency executives, marched through Bawku Street, urging political parties to promote peace. Here's a report by Tanko Mohammed Rabiu.
The women walked through designated routes in Bawku to sensitize constituents on the need for peaceful election. As part of their walk, the Zongo Women for Bawumia group advocated for all women in Bawku, regardless of political, tribal or social affiliation, to come together and champion solutions to the ongoing disputes. They lamented that women and children are the ones who suffer both directly and indirectly from the conflict. Some of the women spoke about the importance of peace in the elections and peaceful resolutions.
Our coming out today shows that there's unity in town, and we are going to hold to that unity. Nothing of something like a fight or any misunderstanding will not happen to Bawku. And we are pleading to every woman and all the children and the youth to have patience so that we'll have peaceful elections.
This health walk alone has shown us that peace is wealth and health. So my fellow women, let's come together and preach peace in Bawku so our children can have a better life in future. Politics should not divide us, but rather be a tool for our development.
The communications officer of the NPP for Bawku Central, Nuruddin Guma, called for peace from all political parties. The constituency chairman, Abdullahi Isaka, also reiterated the call for peace to return to Bawku for the sake of the development.
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ideas
Without peace, Bawku can never develop. So it is our responsibility as a political party to ensure peace prevails through our positive actions. And without peace, Dr. Bawumia as president cannot govern well, not talk about initiating development.
The renewed conflict in Bawku has left at least 20 dead.
Now, the chairman of the National Media Commission, Nhyiaeso, has stressed the need to restore peace in the areas affected by the Bawku conflict. The renowned journalist, I should say, and has also called for a calm to return to the area. Addressing sections of the media in Kumasi, Nhyiaeso noted that the disturbances are having a nationwide impact.
Any problem in any part of Ghana is a problem that affects every one of us. We cannot sit in Kumasi or Accra and presume, because we don't know when there may be the need for you to travel. Because look, the Bonga Wali road, how would anybody suggest that people can be slaughtered? And are you going to stop going to Bonga because there's Bawku war? When do you know you will fall victim?
Stay with us here on News360. We have some more news coming up soon.
Explore the nature and create from it. The spirit of inventors leads to the inspiration for new technology. By drawing nature's energy, we create the extraction tech. Small in size, huge in power. Millions of microcapsules condense the essence of nature. Join us. Cleasoft, invent for life.
I'm a Ghanaian, and I love and I love democracy. December 7th.
Ghana is voting.
Only peace. Peace. I give it to you all.
I love Ghana.
Peaceful election before, during, and after.
One Ghana.
Peace. Peace to everybody. This message brought to you from the Lozi Accredit Page.
Champion!
Good morning, class.
Good morning.
Down. Have you heard about Obuasi baby diapers?
Yeah!
What are the qualities of the Obuasi baby diapers? Okay.
It can absorb water.
Go for it. Who can try?
It is very soft and convenient to use.
Come for him here. Okay, yeah. Yes, Nana?
It's affordable.
Come for him. Can you say something?
It is good to use.
It is good to use.
Obuasi diapers, papa near the abo, baby. Diapers, papa near the abo, baby. Obuasi diapers, papa. Diapers, papa. Diapers, papa. Diapers, papa. Diapers, papa.
Use Obuasi baby diaper for the love of your child.
5 million children have benefited from free SAT.
Thank you for staying with us on News 360. Let's now bring you some health stories. Sickle cell disease remains a major public health challenge in Ghana, with over 18,000 newborns diagnosed each year. Stakeholders are calling for greater emphasis on newborn screening services across the country.
Research suggests that 1 in every 4 Ghanaians, representing about 25% of the population, is carrying the sickle cell gene. Kwiku Nhyiaeso has been battling the condition for over 45 years. He has concerns about the disease management in the country.
Living with sickle cell is not an easy thing at all. Government has done well to put us on the medication, which is the ibuprofen, which is mostly available on the national health insurance. But sometimes you don't get it. It's not stocked in our hospitals and it's stocked in private pharmacies, and so we are still having to pay for it.
Kwikwi is married with 3 children and wants the government to focus more on preventive measures.
It was intentional finding somebody who would say yes to you, and then somebody who has the gene type to combine my sickle cell gene type so that I give birth to carriers. Most people who are carriers do not know that they are carriers. Test before they fall in love. When you are going into the first relationship, one of the things you should ask is, what is your gene type? Not what is your blood type.
In a bid to improve the overall outcomes for patients with sickle cell disease, the government has launched a national sickle cell strategy. The strategy aims to strengthen preventive measures and reinforce genetic counseling in hospitals, communities, and churches.
Now we have a strategy which will ensure that hopefully if we do things right, every newborn will get to know the sickle cell status. And then once you know the sickle cell status, you're able to link to care. Now the person or individual knows their status, and we prevent the next child from being born with sickle cell disease.
The churches are the people, when they are ready to go marry, they tell them to go and check all these diseases, including sickle cell, before when they see that they have sickle cell, they tell them you can't marry. Is it at the right time? It's not, it's wrong. If they are in love, they will marry and have the children and they will suffer.
Technical advisor to the health minister, Dr. Darius Osei, entreated all stakeholders to align their interventions with the national strategy.
Implementing these policies will require our continued collaboration, resource mobilization, a commitment to reaching every Ghanaian affected by sickle cell and vaccine preventable disease in Ghana.
Sickle cell disease is a genetic disorder that affects hemoglobin production, causing red blood cells to become misshapen and break down. It affects approximately 20 million people worldwide and is the most common genetic disorder in Africa.
The Sekondi Takoradi Metropolitan Assembly has set an ambitious goal of reducing carbon emissions to 0% by 2050, in line with Sustainable Development Goals 7 and 13. To achieve this, the Assembly has developed the Sustainable Energy Access and Climate Action Plan, which focuses on low-emission strategies to create a greener environment in the Western region. Irama Smith has filed the following report.
This goal is driven by alarming research which indicates that in Sekondi Takoradi, green gas emissions per person is 26% of that of the global average. And if this is not checked, it will get to 40% by the next decade. And we know the impact of green gas emissions. We are talking about global warming, we are talking about heat-related illnesses, we are talking about respiratory diseases, and we are talking about the impact, negative impact on our infrastructure and all that. It's very important that this is quickly addressed. The study identified 5 key activities contributing to the state of affairs. One was liquid and solid waste, which is contributing about 31%. Charcoal production, 26%. Industrial energy, 18%. Road transport, 13%. And electricity, 11%. So to combat this, the Sekondi Takoradi Metro Assembly, in partnership with the Covenant of Mayors in Sub-Saharan Africa, have come together to put up a plan, which is Sustainable Energy and Access Action Plan. And it is this that the STMA hopes to work with. For the Sekondi Takoradi, the Mayor, Abdul Mumin Issa, says there are plans to deploy modern transportation measures, including the construction of a scooter industry and promoting the use of electric bicycles.
We need the support of the donor agencies to be able to establish a scooter industry within our metropolis so that our children can ride the scooters to school. And this will help in a long way to bring the emission from vehicles to the barest minimum.
So the mayors in sub-Saharan Africa are very enthusiastic about this project or initiative. In fact, the program's manager, Shia O'Neill, has pledged their commitment to support the Sekondi Takoradi Metro Assembly to see to the fusion of these plans.
It is critical that assemblies like STMA are taking climate action, and this means starting from the planning stage, because in order to take the right type of action, we need to have the right data that points us in the direction that we need to go. I think everyone can agree that climate change is really impacting us all already. So that is why it's critical to put in place measures that are going to protect the citizens of STMA and also the future generations of STMA. Good afternoon, everyone. Honorable Mayor.
And now, in the ever-evolving world of agriculture, improved crop varieties are essential to boosting productivity and ensuring food security. That's why the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research at the Savannah Agricultural Research Institute has released 2 groundbreaking cowpea varieties, marking a significant step towards Ghana's agricultural development. Ibrahim Wangara has more in the following report.
This initiative is part of a quick start project backed by the Legume Lab and USAID, aimed at bringing these new cowpea varieties to commercial production. The 2 new varieties, named Audi Bianga and Kantomboda, emerged after rigorous evaluation of advanced pre-breeding lines, showcasing an impressive combination of traits gleaned from multiple parent plants. Across Ghana, Burkina Faso, and Senegal, a total of 69 pre-breeding lines were put to the test, and the results were promising. The potential grain yields for these new varieties stand at an impressive 2.52 and 2.62 tons per hectare respectively, making them valuable additions. Audi Bianga boasts a large seed size, characterized by its cream-colored seeds with a distinctive brown eye, and is early maturing, ready for harvest in just 65 to 70 days. Even more, its drought tolerance is impressive, a crucial trait for resilience in unpredictable weather conditions. The Canton Bonda, on the other hand, features a generous seed size, but with a white seed and black eye, maturing just a touch later, 66 to 70 days, with an appreciative short cooking time. Godwin Opoku is an assistant research scientist at the CSIR Sariwa station.
They are also able to withstand aphid attack. Aphid is one of those pests that disturb cowpea a lot. They are also drought tolerant. They are also disease resistant, and they also have high nutritional value. It's high in iron, calcium, magnesium, and then total sugars. So nutritionally, they are very much improved, and it's good for our health. So it's going to improve the health of farmers. It's also going to give them more money because it's also high yielding plant. Our main motive is to commercialize these 2 crops because of the yield potential.
Farmers who participated in the demonstration field have also weighed in on their experiences with these innovative varieties.
The yield more than the other one we're having. If you're going to plug them to, see, when you grow, it raise very high, so you don't bend down, taking in as compared to the way it was.
It will help us improve our farm. Yeah, it will help us.
This is News 360. It is now time to bring you some sports news. Stay with us.
Dr. Bawku once said,
"But if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you."
Dr. Bawku, when your fundamentals are weak, your
Hello there, good evening and welcome to the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Billy Shen. Now on to our first story. Asante Kotoko have dropped out of the top 4 of the 2024-25 Ghana Premier League standings following a disappointing run of 3 consecutive defeats. The Porcupine Warriors' recent struggles have raised concerns among their fans as the team battles to regain its early season form. On Sunday, Kotoko fell 1-0 to Bechem United in a tightly contested Week 10 fixture. This loss marks the 3rd straight defeat for the Kumasi-based club, having previously succumbed to Hearts of Lions and Legon Cities in their last 2 outings. The defeat against Bechem United has seen Kotoko slip to 6th place on the league table, accumulating just 15 points from their 10 matches. Now, still on Asante Kotoko, here's a reaction from head coach Prosper Nate Ogum after the defeat.
No, it's not good. It's not good. But then the most important thing is that we can work on it and then make sure that we turn the results around in our favor. That's the most important thing. Sure, absolutely. Somebody who is our top marksman, of course, we mix him in the game. But then he's injured, he's out, and we have to make good with him. Those who also played, I'm sure, give a good account of themselves, which is Saka and then Auchi. They give a very good account of themselves.
Let's put Kotoko's form into perspective right now. In their last 4 Ghana Premier League matches, they've only earned 1 point out of a possible 12 and are now 6th with 15 points. And they will face Nations FC next, Aduana FC, and the Super Clash against Hearts of Folk. And surprise, surprise, Hearts of Folk are currently on top of Asante Kotoko in the league standings. They are currently 5th with also 15 points. Now let's move on to the Premier League, where Pedro Neto's first Premier League goal for Chelsea with Arsenal, extending the Ghana's winless run to 4 games. Elsewhere, interim manager Ruud van Nistelrooy beat Leicester City for the 2nd time in his final game as caretaker manager of Manchester United, recording a 3-0 win.
Odegaard, Arsenal get a shot in. Gabriel Martinelli, the angle very tight, but he smuggles it through. There is no offside flag. Neto. Oh, he was given space. You cannot give Pedro Neto space there. His first Premier League goal for Chelsea.
Liverpool from the Aston Villa corners.
Fernandez. In from Mazraoui, Fernandez! Full field for Bruno Fernandes. Support right and left. He chooses Garnacho, who goes to Kane! Magical!
Now let's look at Van Nistelrooy's record with Manchester United. In the 4 games that he managed, he got 3 victories, scored 11 goals with the club, and conceded just 3 with 1 draw. So a fantastic record there for Van Nistelrooy in his short stint as Manchester United caretaker manager. And that's it for the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Billy Shen, and there's more on the bulletin after the break.
to eliminate any possibility of vote buying and ensure fairness in the awards process.
Reggae aficionados and the reggae community have deemed it fit to have our own thing. TGMA respects to TGMA. Two categories, you're born some more. But now we're going to have our own scheme. So we're celebrating best reggae song. We're celebrating best dancehall song. We're celebrating best reggae artists. We're celebrating best dancehall artists. We're giving lifetime award.
The mission of the Ghana Reggae Dancehall Awards, GRDA, established in 2023, is to acknowledge and honor the accomplishment of reggae and dancehall artists. The call for entries opened on October 10th and will officially close on November 10th. Winners of the GRDAs are selected strictly by the Schemes Academy and Board.
We do not want to open the votes to the public so that Warai has a lot of money, so he will get his boys to vote and he will win. No, we've put together an academy of industry players, which includes musicians, producers, bloggers. We believe you guys know the music and the players, and so the nominations will be sent to these academy members. They will vote, and then it's collated, and then the winners are announced.
This year's awards will recognize artistic achievement in 23 categories, starting with a nominees jam on December 15th.
A nominees jam in London on the 15th of December, and then climax it with the awards proper 29th of December.
Let's go elsewhere, still on entertainment though, and Beyonce has made history by becoming the most nominated artist of all time at the Grammy Awards, overtaking her husband, Jay-Z. The couple had been tied on 88 nominations each, but Beyonce has now pulled ahead thanks to recognition for her latest album, Cowboy Carter. She leads this year's Grammys race with 11 nominations, including Best Album, Best Country Album, and Song of the Year for Texas Hold'em. Beyonce is already the Recording Academy's most honored artist with 32 wins as a solo artist and a further 3 as part of Destiny's Child. Big congrats to Beyonce there. You're still watching News 360. Time now for international news.
Russian President Vladimir Putin has offered what he called total support for Africa, including a struggle against terrorism and extremism. The speech was read out at a summit in the Black Sea resort of Sochi by Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov to his African counterparts. Lavrov said Russia's relations with Africa were strengthening more and more with progress on all axes. Several African governments have cut ties with traditional Western allies and are looking to Moscow for help in tackling frequent attacks by jihadists. 5 years ago, Putin promised to double trade with Africa, which has not happened, but using other means, which the West sees as destabilizing. Russia's influence has grown significantly. China.
That's it for the package. Thank you so much for spending the last hour with us. I am Martin Esiedudate.
And I'm Aisha Yakubu Khalid. Have a good evening.